Is it age or is it wisdom? That's the question I'm asking myself this morning. Is it age or is it wisdom that when you get to a certain point in your life, you realise that perhaps a lot of the things that you've been pursuing, careers, for example, possessions, material things, certain things that you've been shown that are the most important thing in the world to achieve or to hold or to own, suddenly actually becomes less important or not important at all. Is it age or is that wisdom that you suddenly start to see the things perhaps in your 20s and 30s that you craved and were steering yourself and working long hours to achieve, suddenly in your 60s, perhaps 50s and 60s, and I'm only just entering my 60s really, you start to think actually all of that is not what I really want. And maybe we all have to go through this, that at different phases in our lives we're learning all the time about what life really is. Am I the same person that I was when I was in my 20s and 30s now that I'm reaching the 60s? And clearly my whole thought process is different because I have gained wisdom and experience over the years. Now that I am at this stage in my life, the important things to me are those things which seem pretty much very simple, very basic, almost what you might call free. To me, it's very important. It's very satisfying. It's very beautiful watching a sunrise or a sunset, walking in the woods. The simple things. I'm not so worried about having to shower myself with materialistic things. Now you might think, hang on a minute, Richard, look at the background, you've got millions of books, and it's true, I do love books. I suppose that is my one vice. Other people may say, oh, hang on a minute, you've started to smoke your pipe. And isn't that another vice? Well, it's funny actually, and I haven't lit it, and I'm not lighting it in this. It's not filled with that lovely prime tobacco, but it is interesting that having reached for the pipe, as somebody who all my 60 years was pretty much vehemently against people smoking, thinking, how can you put that smoke into your lungs? How can you damage yourself? Is now doing the thing that I thought was so terrible. I don't want to get into the do's and don'ts and the rights and nots of smoking in and of itself, but the point about me and the pipe is that it's brought me a certain calmness, a certain slowing down, a thoughtfulness, a meditativeness, or meditativeness, whatever the word is. I'm much more interested in working things out on a more mental and potentially more spiritual level. And although I have my 2 up, 2 down house in the town, I'm more and more, what with the 15-minute cities, what with the 5G, what with the surveillance going up, what with the pollutions in the town and the noise, I'm very much now realising that all of this is not what I want. I want to be out in the countryside. I want my own little few acres of space with my lovely partner, the beautiful, lovely Julia, and to grow our own stuff, not go to the supermarkets, not rely on other people. I've been talking about taking back responsibility for some time, haven't I? And of course, as I've been thinking about this, exploring it, reading books, looking at web pages, listening to other people on YouTube and other platforms, and indeed meeting them in the flesh and talking to them, it's really spiked my desire to get back to the land more urgently than ever, to get back in a very simple way, to be able to grow my own stuff, have a few basic animals, look after them, love them, care for them, and when the time is right, I suppose, yes, sacrifice them so that I can, and Julia and her children and I and our friends and family and people who visit can eat wholesome, proper, healthy food and continue. And I don't need much. That's the whole thing. And it's almost as if life, this is why I say, is it age, just getting old and not wanting to sort of do things, or is it wisdom that I don't need very much? And actually the things that are really important to me are not the man-made trinkets that are being pushed down our throats through advertisements on the television and on social media and places like that, and big companies and corporations desperately showing you something glittering that isn't gold and getting you to go and achieve that like a magpie after something shiny. No, it's not that. It's the things that have always been here that we've overlooked. Fresh air, beautiful countryside, nature, trees, plants, sitting, doing nothing. The importance of sitting and doing nothing, I cannot tell you, is something that is such a precious commodity in these days of our rushed, hurried, distracted days, where the moment that you have an opportunity to sit and do nothing and be at one with your thoughts, with your maker, with your higher self, with your subconscious mind, to actually just chill, is so rare, because people, as soon as they have that opportunity, they'll pick up their phone or they'll turn on the radio or the television and they'll distract their mind with something else, because we've been trained that way. We've been trained never to sit and actually think and realize who we are, what we are, and our inner strength, which gives us so much health and guidance and life. And I've now realized this is what I want to do. And I say to Julia, I say, you know, my idea of heaven now is sitting with her or on my own in a shepherd's hut with a simple wood-burning stove, perhaps a few books, my trusty pipe, a view of maybe some animals, some sheep or the pigs or a cow, the kids running around and playing in the distance, whatever, nature and trees and all of that around me. A beautiful, warm, sunny day, or even a cold day, wrapped up in a blanket with my love. What else is there that is absolutely lovely? Some food, maybe, some nibbles that we've grown ourselves, a strawberry or a blackberry from the bushes, some red currants or whatever. Some raw milk. What else is there that is just so magical than those very simple, very basic things in life? And here's the rub. Here's the thing. You would think that that is not much to ask in this modern day, would you not? Just a little bit of land that you live on, you mind your own business, you're not causing anybody offence, you're not giving anybody harm, injury, you're not helping people to lose anything. And yet it seems as so many people are trying to get back to the land, so many people are trying to get back to this very simple life, that it is the hardest thing to achieve. The acts and statutes, the legislation, the government, the councils, the police, the bailiffs, all these so-called figures of authority seem to be preventing you from doing that. The council's planning officers, oh no, you can't have a bit of land and grow stuff and then want to live on it. Oh no, you have to have permission, you have to have our permission, and everything you do, even if you want to urinate in private, if you want to defecate without anybody watching you, by enclosing yourself within some sort of shed, you have to have planning permission. We've discovered that on my little farm that Julia and I occasionally go and help out at, and that they were having issues with this but if you want to do it in a bush in front of everybody else, that's fine. Yeah, you don't need planning permission to do that. It is the most ridiculous situation. And many people want to get back to the land. Many people want to be off-grid and self-sufficient and not bother anybody else. This is like our primeval rights. And yet we have somehow elected, voted, given permission, we the people, for these bureaucrats to write their statutes and write their rules which prevent us, ordinary everyday people, men and women of this land, to live the way we want. And that has got to stop. And it's got to stop now. Thank you for watching.